In a world where the majority of us are constantly checking rent prices, wondering how we're going to afford the next run to the grocery store, we can take some solace in hating on those who have received their career success in large part due to their incredibly successful and wealthy parents. I'm Adam Andrews with Where Are They Now, and this is the top 10 celebrity nepotism babies in Hollywood that pretty much everyone hates. Coming in at number 10 is Eva Amuri. Eva Amuri began her career as an actress playing the younger version of her mother, Susan Sarandon, in Dead Man Walking before going on to collect around 30 credits in film and TV. Being the daughter of Susan Sarandon, you can imagine she lived a pretty privileged life. And you would be right, going to elite private schools like Friends Seminary and graduating from St. Anne's School in Brooklyn, one of the top high schools in the United States, before going to Brown, a private Ivy League university in Providence, Rhode Island. After her brief career in acting, which she had an easy foot into, she now runs a lifestyle blog called Happily Eva After. The problem comes with her defense of her nepotism. As with most of the nepo babies on this list, for some reason, in peak nepo baby fashion, Eva seems to believe that she started from the bottom and made a TikTok calling herself the president of a corporation she built from the ground up. Commenters were pretty quick to remind her that her mom is freaking Susan Sarandon, and that is the ground that she built her empire up from. Number 9. Chet Hanks. Tom Hanks, famous as being everyone's dad, has had quite a few actual kids of his own that would fall into the nepotism baby category. My favorite being the very talented Colin Hanks, who hasn't really caused any problems, but one of his sons has been labeled the black sheep of the Hanks family. Chet Hanks is a rapper, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know if he's actually any good, but he is a rapper. Well, he's still white. And in 2015, he spoke out in a since-deleted Instagram video about why he believed it was okay for him and other white rappers to use the N-word, which, as you can imagine, did not go too well. Hanks later blamed his problematic thoughts on his heavy substance use at the time, and he is now recovering from those issues, but alas, that was not the end. Chet has made a strange habit of speaking in a Jamaican patois accent, putting on the faux accent at the Golden Globes and in Instagram stories. And then, in the summer of 2021, Chet decided to declare it a white boy summer. But not a Trump NASCAR type white, but a me, John B, Jack Harlow type white. I don't think I really need to explain it anymore, you get the problem here, you get it. Number 8. Brooklyn Beckham. Brooklyn Beckham, David and Victoria Beckham's firstborn son, is a footballer, model, photographer, and chef, and he isn't particularly good at any of it. Despite the leg up that he's received from having a superstar soccer legend for a dad and a former Spice Girl and fashion designer for a mom, he does have a lot to live up to, and the problem is he just doesn't have the drive. But speaking of driving, despite his failures, he still drives a red McLaren P1, one of only 375 in the world. It can't be easy having superstar parents, but it certainly can't be all that hard compared to the lives of other ordinary people. He's been working very hard to promote himself as the next big thing in the entertainment industry, but not actually sticking with any one of those things. It's weird to me, but people seem to hate Brooklyn Beckham for being a nepotism baby, but not just embracing his unearned celebrity status. He doesn't seem to do anything wrong, just never seems to do anything right either. Number 7. Lily Rose Depp. The actress, just 17 when she landed her first leading role in 2016's Yoga Hosers, comes from a line of young stars. Her mom topped charts at age 14 with 1987's Joe Lataxi, and her dad was 24 when he got a main part in 1987's 21 Jump Street. In 2020, someone accused Lily Rose of being a racist, and as expected, social media blew up. But the accusations were coming from a young woman on Instagram who claimed to go to school with Depp, and the claims were pretty quickly debunked as having no factual evidence to support them. The actress managed to actually annoy social media last month though, when she responded to nepo baby critics, and that was the problem. She said, quote, "The internet cares a lot more about who your family is than the people who are casting you in things. Maybe you get your foot in the door, but you still just have your foot in the door. There's a lot of work that comes after that." The problem with her defense is that, yeah, that's exactly how nepotism works. In the same interview, she also compared having your movie star parents set you up with a manager to the child of a doctor completing medical school, so that's interesting and not entirely the same thing. Number 6. O'Shea Jackson Jr. Now look, obviously we are angry at nepo babies because we are jealous we don't have what they have. But sometimes I will simply hate on a nepotism baby for actually being good. How dare you have your cake and eat it too? The nerve. And in this case, Ice Cube's 31-year-old son, O'Shea Jackson Jr., is actually a good actor. But still, the man got on Twitter recently to clarify that he has, in fact, worked hard in his acting career. He said, "I had to get my ass up and make it to work. From the roles I choose, the work ethic I put into them, my professionalism on sets and promo tours, even leaving my dad's agency and going to find a team of my own. Once the door was open, it was up to me to walk through it and thrive." And yes, no one is doubting the fact that he did do the work, but just like Lily Rose Depp, I think we gotta remind him that the entire gist of nepotism is having a door open for you, even if that door is playing your incredibly famous dad in an incredibly good biopic. Number 5. Kaia Gerber. Model Kaia Gerber, the daughter of the 90s supermodel Cindy Crawford and businessman and former model Randy Gerber, got her start, I repeat, her start in modeling at the age of 10 with a Versace shoot. Now, thankfully, this nepo baby did agree that her career thus far has certainly been helped by the status of her parents, but she seems to think that isn't the case as she has switched careers to acting, as if making the career change has erased how she even became a notable name in the first place. On the topic, she said, quote, "With acting, it's so different. No artist is going to sacrifice their vision for someone's kid. That just isn't how art is made, and what I'm interested in is art." That is totally how art is made with acting. I can give you an entire list of nepotism babies who make it into film for that exact reason. Actually, that's what this whole video actually is. She continued on to say, quote, "Yes, nepotism is prevalent, but I think if it actually was what people made it out to be, we'd see even more of it." So yeah, she clearly doesn't know that Hollywood is overrun with nepotism babies. This prompted one Twitter user to write, quote, "Kaia Gerber still doesn't quite understand nepotism. She doesn't understand she got instant access to the highest levels of modeling and got instant access to people like Ryan Murphy. She doesn't understand industry levels because she was born at the top." That pretty much sums it up. Number 4. Jaden Smith. Okay, when we talk about Jaden Smith, I'm kind of incredibly mixed. Being the son of Will and Jada, the nepotism is strong with this one, and it showed. Jaden was only 11 years old when he filmed the Karate Kid remake, which hit theaters in 2010, but several crew members who worked on the remake spoke against Jaden's terrible behavior, saying that he was overtly outspoken, arguing with his coworkers, yelling, and causing shambles in the makeup rooms. He has also described himself as, quote, "the future of music, photography, and filmmaking," which seemed to enrage a lot of people. Despite being the future, he has repeatedly claimed to have projects in the works that never actually came to fruition. So, kid's got an ego, but I kind of blame his parents on this one. Will and Jada Smith have a kind of hands-off approach to raising their kids, saying that they feel that their kids should be able to recognize what is right and wrong on their own, and that adults should not meddle or penalize them. Which is an interesting approach to parenting, but hey, I'm not their parents. Jaden has created some things that I have come to appreciate despite his egotistical ways, so I'm just gonna step out of this one and bow out. There you go. It's for you. You can decide. Number 3. The Kardashian Jenners. The Kardashian Jenners have ruled celebrity life for like 28 years now. Lawyer Robert Kardashian, famous for defending O.J. Simpson, which you'd think is a bad thing, and wife Kris had 4 children: Kim, Kourtney, Khloe, and Rob Kardashian. Later on, Kris would marry former Olympic athlete Caitlyn Jenner, and together they had 2 daughters, Kendall and Kylie Jenner. Kim married athlete Kris Humphries and then rapper Kanye West. Khloe married athlete Lamar Odom and was in a long-term relationship with athlete Tristan Thompson. Kourtney married Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker. Kylie is in a long-term relationship with rapper Travis Scott, and the whole family has been steeped in controversy from the beginning. Their celebrity lifestyle has been on display in Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which made people find them and their oblivious elite lives either immensely entertaining or completely insufferable. Number 2. Hailey Bieber. Most people know Hailey Bieber as the wife of Justin Bieber, but before she was a Bieber, she was a Baldwin. Her father, Stephen Baldwin, and her 3 uncles, Alec Baldwin, Daniel Baldwin, and William Baldwin, are the key parts of a well-known family of actors. Hailey hasn't really spoken much on her nepo baby life, but she did give a somewhat silent take on the issue recently when she stepped out in a cropped white baby tee with the words "nepo baby." So she seems to at least acknowledge it. The hate for Hailey comes from what I think are two different places. For starters, no one seems to know what she actually does. Well, she's primarily a model getting her first gig through her friend Kendall Jenner. She's mainly just a celebrity thanks to her family, so the nepotism is strong here too, but she doesn't necessarily shy away from that fact. Through her family connection, she has made it pretty far along and even owns her own skincare brand now. But more of the hate right now is because of the Selena Gomez drama, which we have talked about so much on this channel that I refuse to say anymore, and we're moving on. Finally, in at number 1 is Olivia Jade Giannulli. I hope I pronounced that right. Olivia here is hated for one simple reason, and it sort of has nothing to do with her. Funnily enough, it's actually because of one of the few times nepotism didn't really pay off the way it normally does. You see, Olivia's mother is Lori Loughlin, who you may know was one of many well-off or celebrity parents who committed some classic light fraud to try and cheat the system, using their money and status to get their children admitted to some of the best colleges and universities in the United States, taking spaces that would otherwise go to hardworking kids who actually deserved to be there. For Olivia, her mama got her into USC and paid for it in prison time. The funniest thing is that I think Olivia likely would have preferred to stay a YouTuber than to go to USC and see her mom put in jail for a brief period of time. The college admission scandal was big news for a little while, and Lori was one of the biggest names involved, setting her daughter, who was relatively innocent, to become one of the more despicable examples of nepotism in America. And there you go. Feel better about being poor? Cause I don't. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Adam Andrews, this is Where Are They Now, and I'll catch you all on the flippy flop.